Hello, everyone. I hope you have plans for a wonderful Easter. I hope you're celebrating the fact that, we had some success. We've had some success so far. We've had whistleblowers coming out on Rachel Maddow's show that looks like there's data going from Starlink to Russia. We have 194 new legal cases against Trump since the inauguration. We have all these brave souls out protesting today. Hands off against Felon and 45 and Elmo and yeah. So, and then there's also, of course, the really good news with, well, it's not terribly good because he's not out yet, but Kilmar Abrego Garcia was able to visit with Senator Chris Van Hollen, and he's okay, and now he's been moved to another facility. So, yeah, that's good. And then also, SCOTUS agreed to temporarily block Venezuelan deportations from Texas, anyway, from Texas to El Salvador. So that's good. But of course, Thomas and Alito dissented, of course, right? Biggest jerks. So this reading is about, I've had a few questions about when the GOP might finally stand up to Trump, but before I ask for when, I want to see if that will happen. So will there be, I have allowed for reversals, will there be enough Republicans to cross over and join the Democrats who are investigating Trump? We have Adam Schiff, we have Al Green, we have Jamie Raskin. There are many, many of them that are organizing. And then, of course, everything that AOC is doing along with Bernie Sanders. Sheldon Whitehouse, I'm sure, is powerfully organizing as well. He's really good. So I want to see, will they start impeachment proceedings and will they actually successfully impeach Trump? And actually would have to be impeach and remove, because just impeachment isn't enough. He's already been impeached twice. Being impeached for an insurrection isn't good enough. What? And then you have to be, he's still, not only was he not removed, he was allowed to run for president again. What is going on? Well, it's dark is what it is. So, yeah. Here's all the unconscious shadows. Here's the illusion that the GOP, the greedy old party of perverts or whatever we want to call them, the Republicans and the evangelical Talibans and everyone under the spell of Project 2025. That is why we have the moon as a situation here. So this would be, on one level, that they are very afraid of him. And some of them are very afraid of him, and some of them are in complete illusion along with him. Okay, their biggest challenge is that it's really not powerful to not do anything. It's really, really. Then again, too, bottom line, Two of Swords is a card of indecision and stalemate, the need to make a choice. But it's, when it's reversed, it's more about lies and being two-faced and again, confusion and the situation out of the gate, the forces in motion is nobody's going anywhere. They're not doing anything. What they're sitting in or they're in a place where they do have control. This is what they have control over. It would be to make some kind of progress, to look into all of Trump's communications and his deep relationship with Russia, with Putin. In the past, they've been stuffing it all down because of money. It's all about money for them. What's hanging over them is when it comes to, if we continue on the way things are right now, and they don't do anything, when it comes to the midterms, this doesn't look very strong. This looks like other people looking for other constituents looking for other, people, somebody stronger. The Three of Wands is just, they're looking for expansion. Maybe that's what's hanging over them, but I don't think they're going to get it. In the near future, this is an invitation, I'm sure. This is an invitation from the Democrats, an opportunity, an offer to extricate themselves from this monster. And here they are internally at this place of bowing down to the monster. Externally, it ain't going to go well for them. That will not go well for them. That does not bode well at all for to have the tower coming in the external position. The way they will be, so they're going to receive it. The internal position always attracts. Okay, so they're. No, God, how do I say it in a nice way without just being a raging bitch? There's the fact that they're being like the sycophant that bows down to the emperor. Internally, that is not going to, they're going to attract more of that, more tyranny, more, this is like giving up to Putin. That is exactly what this is like. And they are going to be seen as somebody that needs to be thrown out. These people need to be thrown out of their positions. In the long-term position, the strength card, I don't really think that gives them strength. I think that they have to work through their unconscious issues. And then the end result, the outcome, has to do with being isolated and needing to look, to go within. Because, they're not going to fall down on their own swords. It's not over. They're not even any good at negotiating. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, no, they can't make good choices because they're not independent. So I don't need to ask for when, because this is a big friggin' no. They're not going to do anything until they have to. And so there we are with the midterms. So they're going to have to learn the hard way. They're at the intersection of fuck around and find out. And they're going to have to do that. There's no way I can see with these cards that they're going to do anything without learning the hard way. It's not even faceplant. They're not even done. When you have the Ten of Swords come through reversed, this is failure and ruin. I mean, it's pain that is an absolute inevitable end, but it's not just like an ending. It's not a normal ending or a loss or a little betrayal or, defeat. I mean, either way, up or down, it's crisis, but this is failure and ruin because they didn't stand up and exercise their power. So there might be a few of them. I think what we're seeing here is like 2 or 3 of them would cross the aisle, but there won't be enough of them. And so they're going to take their whole party down with Trump. Even the women, because they're legislators, right, in Congress. So this could be like Lisa Murkowski and some of the other ones that are speaking up, but they're not doing anything. You have to do something. So, but I'm not saying, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I could be wrong with all of these cards. There are too many here that are just not good. Ace of Pentacles is not taking. In the past, they had the opportunity and they didn't take it. So, you know what? Let's do it this way. So now that we have this, let's look at. I think I'll just use the Lennies because why not get a different? And that is this deck here. If you're new to my channel, let's look at the future of the GOP. So I'll go up to the midterms and after. Between now, midterms, and after will be the result of the... And I tend to get, like the past, present, future. So we'll see. So how will it go for the GOP between now and the end of 2026, basically, right? November. How will it go for them? Loss of power or not? We have both the House and the Senate, and what are they doing? They're bowing to the king over here. That's what they were doing. Okay. All right, so this would be loyalty and protection, transactions, improvement, change. When it comes to the news, movement and news, the old party that's stuck, the old ways that are stuck and blocked, and the revelation of the fact that they're tied to a foreign country. Remember September, I'll never forget this date, September 27th, 2019, the NRA was deemed a foreign asset. And they tried to leave New York and go to Texas. Letitia James went after them in both places. But yeah, so they had a lot of foreign money, or a lot of foreign money was funneled through to GOP members. And so that's how they became like their foreign assets along with the NRA, because they took that money. And meanwhile, they have fought every single thing, every single gun control bill, because they fight, the GOP fights for the NRA, they don't fight for their constituents. Yeah, and then we have Elmo, we have Leon Musk as a part of it. And here's our money, power, and protection, and Russia. Not sure yet who that woman is. I have to look at the other cards around her. And then here, I'm thinking this, so in the context of, Congress, I'm thinking this is a little Mikey Johnson, or as Lori over the Way of Positive Change calls him, elf on the shelf. So, how it's going to go between now and the midterms, and how will the midterms go for them? It could be that there's a new woman that comes in as a leader for the Republicans. Or it could be that this is a dangerous woman, like, what's her face? Well, there's a lot of them. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard comes to mind, Alina Habba, Kristi Noem, trying to think of all the other sick women, Pam Bondi. But with the cards around her, it's somebody who fights, somebody who's repeatedly, in small ways, still a danger because she's tied to not only Russia, right? Could even be a woman from Russia or with ties to Russia. I think it's she's tied to Russia. I think this very well might be what's her face, Tulsi Gabbard. Anyway, it comes out in the public. It's out all over social media. But I don't have successful cards here. I mean, the sun is the only successful card. But no, because it's blocked by the, you don't get success. And you don't even get the change in the movement when you have negative cards around. And then all these ties. So the news will reveal the transactions that brought them change in the past. And the communications, there could very well be some recordings, some audio recordings of communications with Russia that will be revealed, and that will be a complete and utter painful loss for Mike Johnson. And we know he already, he had like a big old group of Russian nationals that donated to him way back when. I think, if I remember right, it was like from 2018 on. It was some kind of like methane company, something like that. And they did it through a company within the U.S., so they tried to hide it. So maybe that is what will be revealed, because we have links here to the flow of money. And this has to be Mike Johnson. And he would risk it to get the biscuit, but he's supposed to be protecting the U.S., and he's not. And so he's looking forward to being blocked and things coming out about foreign connections. Again, this angle right here, like he is loyal to the foreigners, not to our country. And here's the money flow that changed hands. It's going to go, it'll come out in the news. It'll be new information. And maybe it's like a lot of little repeated donations, but again, the tie is to Russia. And there's, if this isn't Tulsi Gabbard, it's a woman that is discovered that supported this whole thing for, what's his face, for Elf on the Shelf. And she did something wrong, which is, very, very wrong. But then again, if it is a Russian woman, she is, well, it's a scam, it's a fraud. There's scam and fraud involved, and it heads towards what's his face, so I'm sure that's what it is. But I think it just repeatedly comes out on social media, because this is our social media card here. So, but you know, I mean, we're talking the midterms aren't until the end of 2026. I don't know if you guys will even. I know I won't remember that. Well, maybe I will. I'm going to set the intention to remember, because if I say I won't, then I won't. But I will remember that by the end of 2026, we'll know this. I just, you know, I mean, I want to give you guys uplifting messages. I want to, but it's just it doesn't come through. It doesn't come through. It hasn't been coming through that things are going to get better. It keeps coming through that things have to get really bad before enough people turn their loyalties from the GOP and go towards the Dems and the independents or whatever. But the GOP party is destroying themselves from within. It's this, you know, the good old white boys club here, and they're ending themselves with their foreign ties. Ugh. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't find anything positive about this at all. I just can't, and I'm very sorry. But take good care. We still have all the love in our hearts for each other. With Pluto and Aquarius, we have the power of the people coming together and networking. We have all of these brave souls protesting. We have all of these investigative agencies looking to prove election fraud. So